Okay, welcome to our very first Community Spark committee meeting. We are very excited to have you all on this committee. And I wanted to introduce a couple people right off the bat. Jordan Burrows is on the meeting as well, and Bobby Grady. And did either one of you want to say a quick word to welcome everyone?
Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Same here. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Good to see everybody again.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound.
Okay, let me see who might be. There we go. I have them muted. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we'll have a little roll call as we go through the committee members. And we did our welcome. As you know, this is a new initiative, so we're very excited, and we hope that you'll allow us to be a little bit flexible through this whole process because it is a pilot project. So we're learning from you, you're learning from each other, we're all learning together. So we would rather be successful at this and do this right than stick strictly to any timeline or dates that have been set forth. We want to do this right and make a huge impact and have us all working together. So thank you for joining us in this. Just to take a quick roll call and to introduce you, if you haven't heard who the committee members are, and this may fluctuate a little bit. I know that some credit unions have said, you know what, I might tag team with someone else if I'm not able to make all of the meetings, and that's perfectly okay. And all meetings will be recorded in case you can't make the meeting. But for Alabama, we have Azalea City Credit Union. Ola is on the line. We have, and if you want to just wave when your name is called, if you're here, that would be awesome. ASE Credit Union, Andrea McCain. And if you're not present, then you're not hearing this, but if they're not present, then I'm sure the committee will be able to meet them at some point, probably, hopefully the next meeting. Alabama Teachers Credit Union, Emily, and we have Gina as well. AOD, Virginia. Alabama Credit Union, Elizabeth Cole. AmFirst Federal Credit Union, we have, and I apologize if I am not getting this name pronounced correctly, Kakia, I'm sure I mispronounced that, I apologize. So that'll be one of the first things we do is try to get that name right. Family Security Credit Union, we have Zachary, All In, Bobby Michael, Max Credit Union, Martin. So those are the credit unions on the committee from Alabama. From Florida, we have Miami Postal Service, Jace, Calhoun Liberty, Employees Credit Union, Amy Kitchens, Panhandle Credit Union, Justin, Sun Credit Union, Nancy Perry, Guardians Credit Union, Patrick Shandorf, Envision, Holly Maddox, Addition Financial, Miriam Mitchell, Suncoast Credit Union, Mary McDonald, and ViStar Credit Union, Allie Braswell. And then from Georgia, we have Altamaha Federal Credit Union, Cheryl Spires, Core Credit Union, Robert Clampett. Sorry, I'm keeping up with chat as well. Rome Craft Employees Credit Union, Diane McCoy, Marshland, Chelsea McNichol, Southeastern, Mike Goodley, Credit Union of Atlanta, Alan Upchurch, Associated Credit Union, Huey Tadis, and again, I apologize if I'm getting these names wrong, Kinetic Credit Union, Wanda Rutledge, and Delta Community Credit Union, we have Matthew Shepard and Jay Rogers, and I believe we have Reina with us today too. So welcome to everyone. All right, we did want to give a quick overview of the program. Some of you were in attendance when Bobby and I did the initial meetings and did the general overview to kind of introduce this program and to see if your credit union would be interested in serving in the committee. And Thank goodness all of your credit unions were interested in serving and seem to be very excited about this. We're excited as well. But just in case you were not the initial person on that meeting, we wanted to give just a brief overview of what this is, what our goals are. So the mission of this project is we would like to spark collaboration among credit unions in each state to address an overlying development issue, and we'll go over those in a minute, within the communities they serve. Fulfilling corporate social responsibilities, credit unions are going to work together to make a measurable impact. So basically demonstrating the credit union philosophy of people helping people. A lot of your credit unions participated last year in the Credit Unions Care Challenge, and that's kind of where the idea for this was born. We were able to make such a big impact collectively. Over $1 million was put back into local communities. And it was just such a great feeling and just overall value of credit union awareness, spreading credit union awareness to all work together for a common goal. So that's kind of where the thought was. As a committee member, you will be on the committee until project completion. So you're not stuck on here forever, although we'd love to have you. But when the project is over, then the committees will kind of rotate. Other people will be brought onto the committees and then new projects will be formed. So we're thinking annually, but we don't want to put a specific timeline on it. Because again, this is a pilot and it may not be the end of 2021 or this time of 2022. So project completion is the timeline as of right now. As far as your specific committee's role, and in a little bit, we are going to break out into our individual state committees so that you can get to know each other a little bit better. If you have camera capability on your laptop, that would be wonderful to get that turned on, especially when we go into the breakout rooms so that you can all get to know each other. And going forward, the committee meetings will not be all together. They will be committee meeting for each state committee. So you will only be with the credit unions within your state for the committee meetings going forward. That doesn't mean that committees can't share information though. If any committee is interested in where the others are, what they're doing, what they're talking about, what challenges they're having, we can definitely share that information. So the roles of the committees is to work with the foundation staff. There are no previous committees to work with, so that would be going forward. But work with us, someone from the foundation staff will be present at all of the committee meetings, not to take charge because we do want this to come from the committee. You all are in your communities, you know better than we do what the immediate needs are and where credit unions might be able to make a difference. We're just there as kind of the guide rails as we go along. And if any questions come up, if there are any budgetary concerns or anything like that, we're there as support and guidance. So another role would be to promote the foundation goals, mission, and vision, organize bi-weekly committee meetings. We're thinking bi-weekly, at least until the project proposals are put together. And sometimes you may communicate by email. We're going to talk about other ways to communicate. But you may not always need bi-weekly meetings. That's up to the committees to decide that as well. We want the committees to identify statewide community development needs and encourage ideas and collect proposals of projects in a timely manner. And I will share these slides with all of you, so you don't have to worry about taking a bunch of notes right now. Involve advocacy when possible. Of course, anytime we can put an advocacy tilt on there, that's great because then the lawmakers are aware of what credit unions are doing out there in the community. And then actively fundraise if necessary through your personal and professional networks for the project. The league board, if you have not heard, has approved to start each committee with seed money of $150,000. That's for each committee. So that is a very generous amount. We're excited, and that just shows how important they believe this initiative is. So that will be the start. You may not need additional funds for whatever project your committee decides on, or you may need additional funds. And we'll talk about the budget. We just want it to make sure it's realistic. We don't want you to think, oh, I've got to raise $5 million for this project. We want you to be able to achieve those goals that you set. And then carry out project implementation and report back to foundation staff as necessary. So as far as individual members, most of you probably already have this information since you have agreed to be a committee member. But just to reiterate, committee members are expected to attend and participate in the biweekly Community Spark committee meetings. Meetings will be telephonic unless you all decide an in-person meeting is necessary. We would like everyone to come prepared to participate and engage. And if possible, attend SCUSI, the Southeastern Credit Union Conference and Expo. And that's, again, if possible. We know it may not be in the budgets for everyone. It may not, some people may not feel comfortable coming, but we'd love for you to be there. Extra measures are being taken to make sure it's a safe environment for everyone. And we'd love to give a project overview and give kudos to all of you on the team, on the committees, and recognize your credit unions. As far as time commitment, again, being a pilot, this is our best guess. We're thinking about 6 hours per month, and that would include the meetings and any regular correspondence. Again, a lot of it may be an email here or there to the committee, and you may have a couple outreach events. So as far as communication, getting right into that, we would like to know your preference of ways to communicate. Of course, you can put together an email group, and we can help you do that. We can also create a discussion board for each committee that looks similar to this, so that all conversations can be kept in one place, and you can upload documents, you can share whatever you'd like to share within your committee. So I'd like to pause and get some feedback if anyone has any thoughts on what the best way to communicate might be.
Julie, this is Andrea McCain. I like the idea of the discussion board. I think that is the easiest way, and it's just one depository for all of the information.
And this is Elizabeth. I agree. You don't have to go back and find emails, lost emails. So I love the discussion board idea.
This is Diane McCoy. I agree. Especially the hunting of the emails, definitely.
This is Wanda Rutledge. I agree also. Don't want to look for those emails.
We get enough emails, right? I'm sure. All right. And if anyone has any other ideas that might be a great thought, be sure to submit them. Type in chat if you'd like. Does anyone have any different thoughts before we move on to the next topic? Okay, great. Oh, we have one chat here. Okay, what platform do we use for discussion board? We actually have not built this one yet. This example I just built on a free site that we have. So if anyone has any recommendations, let me know. I'm going to get with our technical team and see what the best option would be. But if anyone is already aware of a great site, let us know. Otherwise, we may use this free site that we set up the sample on. I'm definitely not the expert when it comes to that, so I will be relying on other experts in that field. All right, great. Well, so far you guys are so easy to work with and very agreeable. We love having you on the committee. So we'll go ahead and keep on going. As far as guidelines for the projects, we've gotten a lot of questions about, okay, what kind of projects? And we will get to maybe a couple examples. We are hesitant about giving too many examples for you because we don't want to stifle any creativity and thoughts that you may have by putting thoughts into your head. So we definitely want this to come from you, but we will offer a couple guidelines. Some of the questions we've gotten, another question was, do we have an example of another league that has done this or other credit unions that have gotten together? And not that we're aware of. If we do come across any, we definitely will provide that as a resource, but this is another way that all of us can be an example for other leagues around the country. So some of the things that we put together as far as when your committee is thinking about what project are we going to dive into? Is it a good fit for our vision and mission? Is it consistent with the philosophy of people helping people? Does it address one of the 12 development issues as described by the National Credit Union Foundation? And you can kind of see, and we'll dive into this a little bit further, but almost any issue that credit unions are passionate about and involved in the community could fit into one of these categories. So whether it has to do with health or hunger or environment, technology, all of that, savings, all of that is kind of included. Are the intended outcomes meaningful and measurable? We do want to be able to report impact at the end of this project. How will committees and the foundation be able to assess progress and report impact? Will it involve desirable collaborators or public partners? Will the project be desirable to credit unions and add a value proposition while also raising public awareness? We want people to say, hey, wow, look at what credit unions are doing out there, and get the credit union name and philosophy out there. A lot of people, and I'm preaching to the choir, still don't really know what a credit union is and if they can join or not. So this will be a great chance to get that out there. But we want it to be desirable to all credit unions because we want all credit unions across the state to be able to rally together and jump into helping with this cause. Does the timeline for completion fit within a desirable range? Again, we do want it to be manageable within, say, a year's time. Will the project require additional funding? How much is required, and is it realistic to be able to raise that amount of money? Will the project provide volunteer opportunities for credit union employees? We want credit union employees at all levels to be able to jump in and feel like they are making an impact and that they are involved in this project. So it might be upon implementation, it might be during fundraising, it might be, who knows what the committees will come up with. And then will it create excitement and goodwill among all concerned? Again, just to dive into the development issues a little bit further, this breaks it down into 4 different categories: low income and wealth, lack of opportunity, poor living conditions, and lack of education. And then I did just list a few examples down at the bottom. I tried to make them very, very general. Maybe for low income and wealth, there might be some kind of savings match program that the committee wants to come up with. Lack of opportunity, maybe you're thinking about micro businesses or small business support, trade school collaboration. Poor living conditions, health is involved in this. Years ago, some credit unions got together and did a leave behind project at a hospital in the Tampa area, where they built a children's playground and have the credit union plaque there. So that's just one example of something that had been done. Maybe your credit unions want to get together and provide some services in rural areas. And then lack of education for financial education. Maybe you want to partner with a statewide nonprofit like United Way or something to provide workshops or low-income housing. These are just general ideas, just to kind of get the thoughts going. So any questions so far? Okay, great. We are going to keep on going then. As far as project funding, I mentioned that a little bit, and this is an example only because only the committees will be able to determine how much the complete project is going to take. But these are just some recommendations of where the money might come from. So again, $150,000 is being provided by the League of Southeastern Credit Unions and affiliates. That's awesome. You might also pull from other credit unions within your state. Credit unions might want to chip in and give toward the project. Maybe your vendor partners, whether it's vendors that you work with directly or strategic partners that your credit union works with, maybe some that are involved with your chapter, and then fundraisers, whether it's a fundraiser within your credit union and you get your own employees involved, or chapter fundraisers. There's a lot of different ways that you can get people involved in this. Maybe even the community would want to get involved since this is going back out to help the communities. So that's an example for funding. And again, those numbers, except for the 150, don't really mean anything. Those are just numbers that we put in there. Your budget will be determined by your committee. And then as far as a timeline, again, this is a very loose timeline and very flexible timeline. We're hoping, of course, we're up to the first committee meeting. From here, the committees will get together and set a schedule and work with foundation staff to help set that schedule for future committee meetings. We would like to try to keep them all on the same day of the week. So we can talk about that once we break out into the individual committees. And then the rest of March and April, the committees will brainstorm together, think about statewide needs and potential solutions, then develop a high-level plan. We're going to give you a template of what that plan might look like, just so you'll know what questions to answer and what our board is looking for as far as the proposals go. And then a timeline for the potential projects to determine if it's realistic. So by the end of May, we're hoping to have at least 2 proposals from each committee to submit to the board so that the board can review those during the June meeting. And then during the June meeting, they'll vote, okay, which project do we want each committee to tackle, send it back to the committees, and then from there, each committee will create an implementation plan for the approved project and then work through the first quarter of next year on project implementation. So we're hoping by the convention in 2022 that we'll be able to report on the finished project and measure and report impact that that project had, do a big reveal at the convention. Any question on the timeline? Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and put you all in your specific breakout room. And when you go to the breakout room, we'd love for you to introduce yourselves. So if you have a camera, please get that turned on if you haven't already. Just these are just suggestions. You can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about in the breakout room, but just to kind of break the ice, your name and the credit union you're from, maybe what your current role is at your credit union, and how you feel you may be able to bring value to the committee. And what is your why? Why are you interested in serving on this committee? What kind of piques your interest about it? So we'll spend, let's see what time it is. It's about 2:30. We'll spend about 20 minutes in the breakout room. So take your time to introduce yourselves. And someone from the foundation will be joining you in your breakout room. If you have any questions, just let us know. And then we'll pull everyone back in together near the end. So I'm going to go ahead and assign everyone to their rooms. And if you are calling in from just a phone number, I may need some help with identifying who you are. So please bear with me.
Hey, everybody, while Julie is loading those, I wanted to see if Jared Ross, he's our president of the league, maybe wanted to jump on and just say a few words. I know we are really appreciative of you guys being on with our inaugural committees with this project. This is really something that our board has given us the direction to really take and make the foundation even bigger and better than it's ever been before. And so you guys are really going to be the ones to take us there. And so we really appreciate this. This is something very new and exciting for us. But Jared, I just, not to put you on the spot, but is there anything you want to say to this great group?
No, I think Jordan, you said it well, that we are appreciative of everyone's time and effort. Julie's done a great job explaining the program. This is something that, as we held our board planning retreat late last year and started talking about how our foundation can make more of an impact in our 3 states, this is kind of what came out of that. And, you know, our foundation, I look at where we were 10 years ago when I joined the league and where we are today, and we are significantly more impactful to credit unions than we were 10 years ago. And I think our next level is being impactful to the communities and the states we serve. And that's kind of what the board wants to see out of our foundation and what we want to see out of our foundation. So the fact that the folks on this call, on the Zoom, are going to help us get there, I can't thank you enough. I'm really excited about these projects. You know, Julie mentioned it, the $150,000 per project that the league is putting into. I think that shows how valuable and important these projects are going to be for us. You know, I know Julie mentioned about the different things that we're looking at. You know, we have this vision of having advocacy involved in this as well, and bringing this to just heights that the foundation has never been to, and getting that recognition. You know, we're already talking about whatever these projects look like, inviting our governors to be there when we unveil them, and our lawmakers and congressional members. We think that this project and this type of thing can be that big of a deal. I was there in 2012 when we did the playground that Julie mentioned at the All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg. And for anyone that remembers the 2012 election, Mitt Romney was the Republican nominee, and the convention, we did this around the convention, and his wife, who at the time was potentially going to be the next first lady of the United States, she thought it was that big of a deal that she was there at the ribbon cutting to help unveil it. So this is what we have in mind. And I can't wait to track the progress from today, this first meeting, to when we unveil these projects. And I'm just so excited and so happy that y'all are going to be along for the ride with us. So thanks for giving me that opportunity, Jordan and Julie, and of course, Bobby. We have such a great foundation, and I'm looking forward to it being even greater.
All right, thank you. And I think I have almost everyone set except for the numbers that called in. So I'm going to go ahead and send everyone to their rooms. And if you end up staying here, then I'll find out which person you are calling from. So here we go. Okay, we have Zach. Let's see. Alabama. All right, and there's someone at 404 area code. Who is that? Or a 561 area code?
Julie?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Pat Shandor.
Yes, which number are you calling in from?
3510143.
Okay, perfect. I will send you on. And then I only have one more person. Is anyone calling in from 404-922-0054? Okay, well, Becky, I am going to go ahead and jump into the Florida breakout room. And if you see anyone come back here to the main room that has a question, if you can just send me a chat, that would be great. And I'll see you back in a little bit.
So we have two people, it looks like, that are on phone numbers only without a name associated to them.
Yes, one of them I know is Patrick Shandor. And that is the 407 area code there that it's showing up as 407 for some reason. And then who is the 561?
Hi, this is Miriam. I'm actually the 407 that ends in 0951.
Okay. Then I know I admitted Patrick. Patrick, are you in the room?
So Julie, Amy says she is in the waiting room to get in. Do you still have control over that?
Yep, let me go back in there. Okay, she should be joining us. All right, so have you guys already started the introductions?
No, I think we were waiting for everybody to get in and get connected.
All right, well, feel free to jump right in. And if you even want to add what part of Florida you're from, that might be helpful for the committee to know.
Okay, I'll start. My name is Jace Reyes. I'm with Miami Postal Service Credit Union down in Miami, and I'm the president CEO. And I joined the committee because I think it's something interesting to see how we could build more credit union awareness in our communities. I know down here it's been a huge challenge, especially with the pricing of marketing media. But I want to see what this committee can do, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And when I'm not a part of it, my VP of marketing would be a part of it. Next.
Excellent, thank you.
Hi, I can go next. My name is Miriam Mitchell, and I'm with Addition Financial Credit Union. We're located in the Orlando area, Central Florida, and I am the SVP of Lending. The reason that I joined the committee is I think that it's a great cause. I think that we need to do more to raise awareness. I've been in the credit union industry for about 22 years, so I'm very passionate about it, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to make a difference.
I'll go next. I'm Holly Maddox. I'm with Envision Credit Union. We're based out of Tallahassee and mostly serve North Florida and South Georgia area. I've been with our credit union 31 years now, and super passionate about credit unions too. And this group really excites me what it can do. If I'm not able to be in a meeting, our Vice President of Community Development will be joining. But I'm the Chief Operations Officer for the credit union.
Hi, I'm Ali Braswell. I'm with ViStar Credit Union. I currently serve in the role as Vice President for Cultural Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. ViStar is home-based in Jacksonville, but we're throughout the North Florida and now moving down into Central Florida. Hi, Miriam. I spoke with your credit union a few months, maybe almost a year ago, on unconscious bias, additions in my hometown. So I'm based out of Jacksonville and Winter Garden. I joined because I'm excited about the opportunity and the potential of this incredible endeavor. So there's so much that we can do out there. Glad to be aboard. And if I'm not here, I'll be backed up by a new team member, Tamara Pulliam, who's our program manager for Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Workforce.
I'm Mary McDonald, and I am with Suncoast Credit Union. So based out of Tampa, and we're all over the state. I am the Community Relations Director, and in really overseeing all of our community giving, our sponsorships, and you name it, any kind of category there could ever be. We're always interested in the developmental issues. And I really think that being on this committee will let me expand to see, what else. Every community to me seems to have, a lot of the same needs, but there's always that but, where to focus that, whether it be the elderly or whether it be DE&I issues. I mean, it's an endless, that's what I think our challenge will be, is reining in, the ideas with the needs, but I'm very excited to be a part of this. So, and if I'm not on the call, then one of my cohorts anyway, Linda Fales, who is our community development officer, would be on the call.
All right, excellent. And I think, Amy, are you on the line now? I believe you're on mute. Oh, she is having trouble connecting, it looks like. Let's see. Okay, well, she may have to call back in. I don't know why she's having some issues there, technical issues. But, and my name's Julie, in case I didn't talk to you previously, and I'm excited that all of you are on the board. I live in the Tampa area, so kind of in the middle of the state, and my background is with credit unions. I worked for Suncoast Credit Union, Mary's home there, for 21 years. So before I came to the league, and now I've been with the league for 6 years. So Nancy says, I don't think you can hear me. We can't, Nancy. You want to try again? It doesn't look like you're muted. Make sure your computer audio is on. And while she's figuring that out, I know someone had mentioned, since Florida is such a long state and so diverse, I mean, when you think of Florida, North Florida is completely different than Central Florida, which is completely different than South Florida, which is completely different from Key West. So that's kind of its own animal. So as you guys all talk together, try to determine some of the community needs, you don't have to say, well, what if it doesn't cover the entire state? As long as it touches certain areas, is pretty widespread, you might want to focus on just rural areas, or you might want to focus on the minority population, or whatever you decide. I don't want you to think that it has to apply to every single part of the state. Or your committee might decide, hey, we have 2 projects that kind of fit together that we want to do, one up north and one in the south. That might be an option. So Nancy or Amy, do you guys have the sound on now? I feel so bad that they're having issues. I think Nancy can hear us. We just can't hear her for some reason. Yeah. Oh, and Amy can hear us too. Amy can hear everyone. She just can't be heard. So it may be that you need to connect your audio, or there's also a number that you can call in when you look at the original invite. So you may want to try that, but we're getting ready to go back to the main session in just a few minutes. So from here, I wanted to ask you all, is there a best day of the week to set these regular committee meetings for you? I know we're all not going to agree, but I'm thinking probably midweek is best for most people, whether it's a Wednesday or a Thursday. Does anyone have a direct preference?
I like Wednesday or Thursday.
I agree, Wednesday or Thursday, with the exception of Wednesday morning. I typically have senior managers every Wednesday morning, so Wednesday or Thursday though.
Wednesday is better for me than Thursday usually.
Wednesday afternoon is good.
Thursdays or Fridays work well for me. So
Okay. And are Wednesday afternoons completely out of the question for you, Ally?
with enough notice, I could probably make it work.
Okay.
I can make Thursday morning, not Thursday afternoons.
Okay.
Either Wednesday afternoons or Thursday mornings.
I could do Thursday morning as long as it's after 10. Or 10 or later, I should say.
And I'm one of the rare ones. Mondays and Fridays are usually my best day because we have so many meetings midweek because of everybody having to work. So, and I can make Thursday after 10 work with enough advance notice to move stuff around.
Okay.
Yeah, Thursday after 10 is good for me.
Okay, great. All right. I hope the other committees are as agreeable as you guys are. So that's wonderful. So the next steps will be that we'll put together a little schedule and those community discussion boards, because a lot of your communication can obviously be done on that. You don't have to meet just for the sake of having a meeting. I'm completely against that. I know how busy you guys are. Everyone's super busy right now and everyone wants to have Zoom meetings all the time. So don't meet just for the sake of having the meeting. Don't feel like you ever have to do that. If you decide as a committee, hey, we do our best work collaborating through the discussion board and hop on and just collaborate every once in a while through a meeting, that's perfectly fine too. We want you guys to do what works best for you. So, all right, I'm going to bring everyone back into the main room. So I'll see you in just a second. All right, I've just closed all the breakout rooms, so everyone should be able to pop back in at any moment. And then we'll just wrap things up here.
Not to brag, but the Georgia group seems like a pretty awesome group of people. I'm excited for their project.
I don't know, Florida, it was pretty easy going. Everyone's agreeable. Everyone's in it for the right reasons. They had some awesome whys out there.
I agree with Jordan. I think Georgia was great.
No, Alabama's looking pretty good.
Alabama.
No.
All right, so everyone should be coming back in or on their way back in. Does anyone have any questions that came up during your breakout rooms or from anything that we talked about?
I have one. I did. It's Diane McCoy. I was just wondering, would the league liaison be the same every meeting, or is it going to switch up? So
why are you asking?
Georgia. I'm just wondering. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
George, it's because Diane doesn't want you in their meeting next time.
No. I prefer the same.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I think we'll, you know, we're going to have to look at that.
Jordan is good.
Things that are coming up, but I think that probably, you know, we will have consistency for sure.
Okay.
Not to speak for the group, but I believe that especially for these first few meetings, we're all, Bobby, Julie, and I are all going to plan to be in them. And then we'll kind of figure it out after that. So maybe you can decide to make sure that we're all kind of on the same page and also to be able to communicate some of the same questions if anything happens to the other groups as well, just so we're all kind of keeping consistent at the beginning until the projects really kick off. And my feelings aren't bad.
I said I wanted you. That was my Georgian accent.
And everyone from the foundation will have access to the discussion boards also. So you don't have to worry about, oh, if I ask someone a question, are they going to know what we're talking about? Everyone will be involved. You'll have a lot of resources that you have access to. Great question. All right, so any other questions before we give you back the rest of your day? We're excited to have you all in the committees. We're glad to kick this off. Our next steps will be to get together to talk about what the breakout rooms talked about and help set up those original meeting schedules. And we'll send out links to those discussion boards once we get them all created and you're able to get those going. So any other comments or questions before we adjourn?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
All
you.
right, you guys. Thank
Have a
you.
great afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.